Am I the a-hole for walking out of a makeup party my parents threw for me after my sister announced she had miscarried? I, 24F, walked out of a congratulatory makeup party my parents were throwing for me after my sister, 30F, announced she had miscarried. So the party name is probably confusing to some people, so let me explain. My whole life, I've been told that the day I was born was the worst day in our family because it was also the day my sister was diagnosed with cancer. This was mentioned many times when I was growing up and always made me feel weird. My family hated celebrating my birthday, and they would often ignore my actual birthday and choose a new date to celebrate me. Normally, it was a few weeks after my actual birthday. This was because the day held, quote, no happy memories for them. This was a bad one to start on. There's so much happening right now. Okay. During my 10th birthday party, not close to my actual birthday, but another late celebration to make everyone happy, my parents and sister decided to announce that my sister's cancer had returned and she was undergoing more treatment. All celebration died, and I had to send my friends home. When I turned 16, my friends decided to throw me a party to celebrate me on my actual birthday. It was a Saturday that year. My best friend's parents helped them organize it. My sister wasn't invited, but decided to show up and started telling everyone she had another cancer scare 3 weeks before. My best friend's parents tried to keep her occupied, but she said she wanted to be there to celebrate me, but all she did was share almost bad news. When I graduated high school, my sister announced her engagement had ended and she cried the whole time, and my family decided to cancel the party they had booked for after because my sister needed comfort. I finally spoke to my parents a few months ago and told them how awful it made me feel to have these things happen, especially the ongoing reminder that the day that I was born is the worst day of their lives. I asked them if they realized how shitty it feels to know your family can't find any happiness that you were born and that you're reminded of that your whole life. They apologized and said that they felt so bad. They told me that they would throw me a graduation party to congratulate me for my achievements. I also spoke to my sister, but she was less receptive to considering my feelings. Despite some reservations, I went because my parents appeared to be trying to do better. But then my sister showed up and announced she had miscarried to everyone, and the party died as the focus went to her. Her husband told me I should make non-family leave because my sister needed family around her. So I left. Took people 2 hours to notice, and when they did, they were all asking what the hell I thought I was doing leaving like that. And my sister cried down the phone to me that she thought I, above everyone else, would support her. She asked how I could be so cold. Am I the a-hole? Response from OP here. I don't know what the parent comment is, but she says, her engagement really was called off. She did have an actual cancer scare, and I believe she had a miscarriage. But I think the timing of the talking about these things is awful and very intentional. She didn't miscarry on the way to the party, so she could have easily done that outside of the party. Oh, right, absolutely. But your sister wasn't happy with the party and waited to mention it then. Right, exactly. Yeah, very, very easy, not the whole. If you'd like to choose the next keyword, type wine into the chat. Tangy? Why is this a post? This is so silly. Am I the hole for putting sauce on my steak? I, 32M, have been dating my girlfriend, 32F, for just under a year. We have, I think, a really good relationship so far, so I'm a little puzzled by a fight we recently had, and I want to know if I was in the wrong. About a week ago, she asked if she could come over to my house and make a nice meal. I told her, of course, why would I turn that down? She came over with a couple of porterhouse steaks, some corn on the cob, potatoes, and asparagus. She proceeded to grill everything but the potatoes, which she boiled in my kitchen. While she was busy cooking, I took it upon myself to set the table out on the back deck. I included candles, as well as what I considered basic spices and condiments, such as salt, pepper, butter, and steak sauce. When my girlfriend served up our 2 plates full of food, she saw the bottle of steak sauce that I had included and said, "Oh, hell no. This is a good cut of steak and I season it well. Don't you dare put steak sauce on it." I did a couple of bites of the meat naked, but while it was tasty, I just really missed the slightly tangy taste of the sauce that I think complements even a good cut of meat. I told her that she couldn't have done a better job, but just due to my own taste, that I was going to use a small amount of sauce to enhance the flavor. She got really mad at me. I think that she was being unfair and that she took it too personally. I just happen to like steak sauce, even on a really good steak. But maybe since she sprung for a couple of good cuts of meat and it was nice enough to cook them for us, I should have just eaten my meal the way she wanted me to. What do you think? Was I wrong? That's the whole post. I would, like, personally, I would be hurt just a little bit, but I wouldn't be like, "You don't need to have that fucking steak sauce, dude. How dare you put steak sauce on my good meat, dude? How dare you even consider putting sauce on my delicious good meat, dude?" You know what I mean? It's not that serious. Everyone's got their own taste. I would low-key be offended. I wouldn't make a fight out of it. I want to enjoy what I'm eating. I like A1 sauce. I don't care if it's a fancy steak. Sweet meat, that hurts my soul just a little bit, but I understand. Some people also like their steaks well done and they will answer for their crimes at the pearly or hellfire gates. True. I've only had a couple good cuts my whole life. Right, they're fucking expensive. They're really fucking expensive. I like well done steak. I thought I built a better community than this. Obviously, I'm just doing it for the bit. You take your steak however you want to. I was also a well-done steak enjoyer until I was introduced to the world of medium rare, and then I nut in my pants. So, I'm on Not the Asshole. He didn't destroy the steak with something you don't. Yeah, he literally, like, gave her a little bit of a concession, right? He ate it naked for a little bit and was like, "I like the tangy sauce. I'm going to have just a little bit." Yeah, he humored her, and I think that's nice. I'm going to say Not the Asshole, right? You guys think Not the Asshole? I'm saying Not the Asshole. If you'd like to choose the next keyword, type hole into the chat. Train wreck. Am I the hole for throwing my sister out of my house after she billed me? 45-55 in favor of not the hole. Okay. All right. My sister is a train wreck. There it is. She needed a place to stay, and I have a large enough home for an extra person. She has no job or income. I told her she has a few months to get her shit together and leave. I give her about $100 a week to keep my house clean so she has some cash. I gave my sister her $100 and she said I owed her more? I was confused. She said she did other work for me. Work. I asked her what more did she do. She said she walks my dog in the afternoon. I walk my dog every morning and evening, but she takes him with her on her afternoon walks. She said the going rate for a dog walker is $25 per walk, 5 times 25, $125 on top of the 100. Then she mentioned she put together a scrapbook of personal letters and papers. According to her and Etsy, that job was easily another $75. I told her I never gave her permission to do those things. Her argument is that those jobs fell under the umbrella of keeping the house clean and I was ripping her off. So I threw her out. The money isn't the issue. I have plenty of disposable income. I was disgusted how she came at me. That's not how that works. The top comment is not the asshole. I would have countered with a bill for food, rent, and utilities. Yeah, the fact that she did research to figure out how much more she was owed, like, you're just trying to take advantage of the situation. You'd be like, okay, if that's how you're gonna play it, you actually owe me $900 for rent. That's so entitled. That's so ridiculously entitled. It sounds like she's just trying to take advantage of the person being kind to her, that's fucked. Am I the hole for setting up a just-in-case fund for my daughter? The entire time they've been married, she's been a housewife, and now she's a stay-at-home mom with no plans to return to work. I think that's fine and have been supportive. I also know she and her husband both have sizable life insurance policies, so if God forbid one dies, they'll be okay. However, she also signed a prenup, which again, I think is smart. but according to my daughter, she'd get a very small settlement. And even with child support, there's a good chance she'd have to return to work. And after being out of the workspace for a bit, who knows if that'll be a challenge. My main worry is my niece fell into this scenario, and even with child support, she struggled. So my husband, her father, and I set up a just-in-case account. If she and her husband divorce, she'll have the money to fall back on just in case. If they remain married past the time my husband and I die, it'll just be added to what she'll inherit. I didn't intend on telling her about it unless it happened, but my husband pointed out that if she was ever in a situation where she wanted to leave but worried she financially couldn't, it'd be good for her to know she has a plan B. So we told her, and she was a little surprised. She said she appreciated, but felt we were rooting against her. I said we love her husband and hope they have a long, healthy marriage. We have always been supportive, but this is similar to the prenup, a just in case, a last resort. Well, she told her husband, and he's pissed at us as well, saying that we don't trust him. I said it's looking out for our daughter and really is no different from a prenup. I added that just as he'll always want to protect his daughter, we'll always want to protect ours. Am I the whole? Yeah, no, I think this is incredibly smart of them to do. How many Am I the Whole stories have we read where a woman was in this situation and was left on the curb with absolutely nothing to her name because of the way it was all set up? I think this is incredibly smart of her parents to do. I think not only is it smart, but it is incredibly love-filled. It comes from a place of, it's incredibly supportive. Either not the asshole or no one's an asshole. I'm concerned about him jumping straight to how dare you not trust me, but there could be poor communication there. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of understand why they feel bothered by it, because from that point of view, it may seem like assuming that they'll fail, but her parents were thinking of her well-being and preparing for something that really could happen. I'd feel very cared for if my family did this. Right, exactly. Okay, Booster's wondering how it was communicated to him. Personal insecurities, all the usual little things that can get unintentionally put in someone to be. Yeah, because it wasn't OP and OP's husband that brought this up to their daughter's husband. It was OP and OP's husband brought it up to the daughter brought it up to the husband. So there could have been a little bit of muddled communication there that might have exacerbated these feelings. Who knows? I do think since we're not involved as an outside perspective, it's pretty cut and dry. I might feel weird about it too and go to Lord to validate my feelings and then things snowballing. Yeah, absolutely. You know, now that I think about it, if I were in the daughter's husband's shoes and my wife came to me and was like, hey, my parents set up a just in case fund for me just in case we divorce. Because there are two reactions here, right? One being, wow, they think I'm gonna fail. They think I'm a deadbeat. They think I'm just gonna throw you to the wolves and that our marriage is gonna fail. Two, you say, oh yeah, that's smart. And then it's like, why do you think that's smart? Are you gonna leave me? Do you plan on leaving me? Do you plan on being unfaithful to me? Yeah, especially where there's context with the niece, exactly. Coming from the husband's point of view, I would understand being a little bit upset. I think just with more communication across the board, I know, surprise, more communication needed in a fucking Am I the Asshole story. Wow, I'm so surprised. But I think more communication, talking it out, hashing it out, and making sure that they know that it's coming from a place of support and love and caring and kindness, and not a, yeah, we think your marriage is gonna fucking fail and we hope that you fail. Like, I think it's fine and loving and caring, and I think it's an incredibly thoughtful thing to do for your daughter. It's whole or nothing. All right. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom I don't want to care for her kids? I, 20F, have a sister, 16F, and two half-siblings from our mom's new marriage, 3M, and an infant sister. Oh my God, that's so much. My mom insists on my help with the youngest siblings constantly, without notice. She wants me to babysit or feed them or give them baths. Most of the time it's fine, but sometimes it's overboard. For context, in my reactions, I have autism, high functioning / Asperger's. The situation. Today, she asked me to give them baths. I did. It was hard because of my sensory issues and the fact that they were both screaming bloody murder in my ear over wanting my mom to give them baths instead. It was okay though. I pushed through. I got them dressed through the screaming. Then I left them in the living room with her and started to go back to my room. She asked if I could hold the baby a little longer. I did, but she was screaming and crying still, so it was hard. The only time she'd calm down was if my mom held her, and she didn't want to because she was getting ready to leave for an AA meeting. At this point, I was extremely overstimulated. I was standing sort of rigid, but still holding the baby acceptingly, I thought. She began to yell at me, saying I wasn't holding her with the right body language. She began to yell at me, saying I wasn't holding her with the right body language. And if I held her, quote, like I cared about her, she wouldn't cry. Then why don't you fucking hold her then? You are parentifying your 20-year-old daughter and forcing so much responsibility that she should not have to have. I told her she's probably crying because she wants to be held by her mom. Separation anxiety. Because no matter how much I've coddled her before, she still cried. This is a consistent thing that's happened since my sister started going to daycare. Maybe I am a bit rigid after being screamed at, but I still don't feel like my body language was the issue. My mom eventually got fed up and told me to put her in the feeding chair, so I did and started to walk back to my room. She then started to rant on about how she still needs my help with watching them longer and how I don't care about my brother and sister. She said she shouldn't have to ask for help. It didn't even occur to me that it was assumed for me to stick around and watch them because their father is home. Yeah, mom is not doing great. Dad can watch his own damn kids for sure. Like, good on you for going to AA, wanting to be clean. That's cool and sick and fine and great. That doesn't excuse you from being an emotionally abusive piece of caca, piece of creamed corn in a wood chipper. All she asked was that I give them a bath and then hold the baby, and I did that. This escalated into an argument in which I told her that her children aren't my responsibility, especially not at 20 years old. And while I don't have a problem helping out sometimes, I'm not her employee, and both can't, because of autism, and won't, because I wouldn't want to if I could, predict what she wants from me in order to wait on her hand and foot. Thank you! Yes! I do really, really like how OP put her foot down and was like, we're not fucking doing this anymore. I do live at home for free, so it could be entitled of me to be so averse to helping her with them. I do other things. I'm the only one in the house who cleans regularly every other day, and that's easy for me as it doesn't involve any crazy variables and never changes. But I do not want to help with my siblings the amount that she wants. 100%. It's not your fucking responsibility. I don't care if you're living there for free. You're living there for free. Cleaning up after yourself is your responsibility. Keeping your space clean is your responsibility. Going out and doing extraneous bullshit, cleaning up the rest of the house, cleaning up after your siblings, after your parents, watching your siblings, caring for your siblings, being a fucking mother to your siblings, that is not your responsibility. That is above and beyond, and if it is expected of you, that is a red fucking flag. Right, cleaning after a toddler and an infant is a lot of work. So much fucking work. Also so infuriating, the dad just fucking does nothing. Right. Yeah, he was mentioned once. He was home, but still the 20-year-old parentified daughter was the one expected to do everything. Not even low-key, high-key misogyny, because it's women's work to physically look after children. Right, yeah, it's fucked up. And like, how many times have you heard from a man that taking care of kids isn't that hard, that doing housework isn't that hard? How many fucking times have you heard the argument, well, it's not that hard? If it's not that hard, why don't you do it? Oh, well, it's the women's job. Shut the f up. It's incredibly hard work, and that's why you don't want to do it. Well, often realize why I haven't spent an EV with the fabulous amazing beeps in a hot second. Exactly. Hi, baby truck. What do you have to say about the allegations, baby truck? What do you have to say for yourself? That was good. That was good. That was good. Yes.